Well, welcome. Welcome to another segment of This Is My Story. This is my song with Lady Christine. I'm so glad to have you all join us tonight. We are just honored and always looking forward to sharing with our artists that we bring. We're thankful for each and every artist that has already been on our show. We hope that you, our listening audience, has enjoyed each and every one that has come on the show. Tonight, we are bringing forth us a young man who has been in our lives. We've known, we played music together and worked with many choirs and traveled and, just did a little bit of everything. Wherever they had a convention, wherever they had a choir anniversary, wherever they had anything that had to do with music, we always would end up running into one another at these events. So tonight, it gives me a great honor to bring forth and introduce to some and present to others Reverend Charles Smith.
Hey, hey.
Welcome, Charles.
How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to have you with us tonight.
It's good to be here, man. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
I see you got a little gray going on up here now.
Hey, man, listen, I got a lot of gray. You hear me? That's just the only part I'm willing to show. This whole thing gets grayed out if I let it.
That shows you got a little bit of wisdom, now. They say that means wisdom.
Prayerfully. Prayerfully.
Just a little bit. You got a little bit in there,
Yeah.
Well, we're so glad to have you with us tonight. Charles, where are you living now, Charles? I know you're from Harford County, but where are you based now?
We live in Houston, Texas. We're actually in Missouri City, Texas, which is like basically 5 minutes from Houston.
Okay.
So yeah, we live in Houston, Texas. We've been here for a little over 9 years now.
Oh wow, okay. And you have how many kids? I know y'all have.
I have six altogether. 6 altogether.
6 children.
Mm-hmm.
Reality.
Mm-hmm. That's my
baby. That's my head. That's the oldest.
That's my oldest. So, that's my big girl.
Gender wise, how many of what boys and girls?
4 boys, 2 girls.
4 boys and 2 girls. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So being a father, which you got started at, you're raising your children. How old is your oldest child right now?
Reed will be 29.
29. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, time goes by fast, doesn't it?
Man, listen, I remember her being born like it was yesterday. And then to see my grandbaby who looks, this is like a carbon copy of her, it just blows me away, man. She'll be 4 this year. So, yeah, that's my world right there. That's my heart right there. She has me totally in her pocket. Like,
you in the pocket. You lost now. You might forget it. You can forget it.
Yeah, man. She got me.
Kids will do that to you. I think having grandchildren is like getting a second chance of being a parent without the responsibility.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, well, it's good. I'm glad to hear, that the children are doing well and your wife.
Yes.
I'm glad that Cynthia, I haven't seen her in a long time, but I've seen some things that you all have been doing.
Yeah.
Her book that came out.
Yeah, man. She is, man, listen. When I tell you that, like, she's everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's so great. You know what I mean? When it comes to having a help meet, you know what I'm saying? I truly believe that she is what God had in mind when talk about help meet. Like, from in every aspect, from our businesses to ministry. We're both board certified Christian counselors, so we have our own counseling business. So, just in every aspect to how we keep homes, the balance in the house for raising the kid. You know what I mean? She just gives me balance.
All over.
Yeah, man. We've been 28 years? 28 plus years.
28 years? Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, we've been together a little over 28 years now. You know what I mean? So, she always tell me till death do us part, read it like you need to. So I got it.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear of the success in the marriage, and we know that all marriages go through different challenges. Absolutely. But it's what we make out of it. Whether we come to those challenges together that make the marriage greater. I feel like through the tests or trials, whatever it is that you have to endure together, weather those storms, that makes the marriage stronger. It's not all the good times. It's
And
the bad ones.
yeah, you learn. Hopefully you learn. Some people,
Yes.
you know, so I'll say, hopefully you learn. You know what I'm
You
saying?
learn.
And hopefully, you know, you're in a position where, you know, if you're the person in a position of power, you have forgiveness and you have grace and you give mercy. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you're the person needing the grace and you're the person needing the mercy, and you know what I'm saying, that not you don't take it for granted when you receive it, that you actually apply the changes to your life. You actually apply, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that there can be, and you know, we tell people all the time in counseling, you know, our strong point is marriage counseling, obviously. And so we tell people all the time, especially people that have gone through some of the trials that we've gone through, you know, people say, you know, well, I want to get back what we had. You ain't going to get that back. But here's the beautiful thing about God. When God is in the fix, God said, I'll make all things brand new.
That's right.
You know, if any man be in me, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. So you don't get that old thing back. But behold, all things, not just some things, not just a little thing, not a few things, but all things.
That's right.
So you get a chance to have a brand new relationship. You get a chance to have a brand new, you know, covenant. You get a chance to have a brand new, you know what I'm saying? So, you know.
That's how God is. You know,
man. Yeah.
And our, you know, all of our mistakes, you know, and he looks beyond all of them and gives us that new start, that grace, that mercy, you know, which we all have been at the hands of receiving. And even after we receive them, once we still have to receive them all. I'm Absolutely. You know, one big that I'll talk to God every day and ask him, you know, to help me with me. I'm sure you're doing that.
Absolutely.
And in the marriages, you know, it's a give and take, you know, relationship in order for it to be, you know, successful. So you're telling us that, what is the name of your counseling business is what I want to ask.
It is the Conversation Christian Counseling LLC.
Conversation Christian Counseling LLC. Okay. All right. And how long have you all been doing that?
Ooh, it's been a couple of years. We've been counseling for quite some years, but we didn't decide to actually make it a business for about a little over a year now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but we had, because we were already counseling people, so it was just like, and so we went, you know, went to school, got our, you know, board certified, you know, both became board certified, Christian counselors, and you know, I thank God for His favor. You know what I'm saying? Because even in our classes while we were in there, people were just finding favor in us.
Right,
you know right. And a lot of times, you know, they like we're both not afraid to be transparent about everything that we've been through. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, the word says our testimonies will strengthen the church. Well, how are you going to strengthen the church if you're afraid to tell your testimony? You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, we when we talk to people and they be like, look, lying, cheating, and all that, I did it. You know what I'm saying? We did it. You know, we talk about those things because sometimes people need to know, hey, listen, I'm not here to judge you.
Right.
I want to help you. I want to help you get better. You understand what I'm saying? So let me tell you about us first to ease your mind. You know what I'm saying? And so that we can, so you understand that we've been there. The anxiety that you're feeling, the fear that you're feeling, the hurt that you're feeling, the letdown, the brokenness, the lack of understanding, all of it, we have been there. And what we pride ourselves on is being who we needed and didn't have while we were going through those things. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, when you're going through those types of things right there, you got two separate entities. People don't get it. You know, people they don't mean any harm. They love you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you got two separate entities, even though you guys are trying to figure out how to make one again. You got one that's on her side, you know, that hates you, and then one that's on your side. Funny, you know what I mean? You like, look, you don't need none of that. We trying to figure out how to get this thing back together. Look. Right. You know, and sometimes, man, we've learned sometimes you gotta politely give people the benediction. May the Lord watch between me and you. For real. And you just gotta go before God
Before the Lord.
You
That's
gotta
right.
go before God. You know what I mean? We pray together every morning.
Mhm.
Every morning. I just did a men's conference. She just did a women's conference. And we talk, we pray. I pray over my wife every morning. She prays over me every morning. We ain't leaving no foothold for the enemy.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We cover each other. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm the head, whatever, but we cover each other in prayer. Not only do we cover each other in prayer throughout the day, because her job gets stressful, my job gets stressful. We call, hey, baby, you all right? You need to let some pressure off. You need to bend a little bit. Or she'll call me, hey, babe, I know you've been on the road for some hours. You know what I'm saying? Are you okay? You ain't looking right. You need to pray. You need to talk. We need to, you know what I'm saying?
That's important.
Man.
It's important.
Yeah, it really, people don't really understand the importance of it until they're in trouble most of the time. And then they want to apply that. But I'm telling you, that's some real preventive maintenance.
Right.
Real preventive maintenance, man, for real.
Yes. Just that open dialogue, that conversation that, we've talked before on some of our broadcasts and shared with, those that were listening that, one of the things that we started off with was just the communication with one another. And there was a certain time we were talking on the phone in the morning. We were talking on the phone at lunchtime. We were doing, and that has just graduated. It hasn't stopped to this day,
It's supposed to.
That we talk in the morning, we talk, at lunchtime, where if it's in the middle of the day, something else is going on. It's something that we're communicating with each other back and forth, so that we're on one accord. If my husband's leaving one place, he's calling, let me know I'm on my way from such and such. And I do the same. And it's just those open lines of communication, spending time, doing all those date night things.
Man,
outside of, before you got married, you got to do that more. Man, after you get married.
We are so famous for when we work out together. We do all that stuff together. You know what I'm saying? But some nights, we will literally get in the car and go grab some food and just talk. Some days, like if I've knocked out all my workouts early in the morning on Saturdays and went and done rehearsal and all that stuff, and I'm back home, whatever, we'll go and one thing about Texas is a lot of space. So we'll go take what we call a country drive, and we'll go grab some food and just drive out in the country and just talk for hours. We don't even plan on where we're going. We just drive and talk. You know what I mean?
Right.
While
that keeps that love, between you all in the open relationship, because it's very, very important. It's very important to communicate. Sometimes what's going on with us.
Yeah, it gives you space to convert. Yeah,
it's important to do that. Women don't have as much problem talking as sometimes men, because men haven't always been allowed to share.
Man,
they've been told to suck it up and deal with it.
Spoke on this. You hear me? I just spoke on that, man, because and I was telling in the men's conference, I was saying that I said the problem is we were taught early on as young boys not to be emotionally available to ourselves. So when we felt pain, when we, what I'm saying, we were told by older, hey, they didn't mean any harm. Hey, man, suck that up, dry that up, let that cry. You know what I'm saying? And then the problem is we did still cry. So when we did cry, now we ain't feeling like a man. So then we go out running and doing all these different things that we feel make us look like a man, and who've been taught incorrectly the definition of a man. So we are here trying to do whatever, trying to make ourselves feel like a man. Well, if I'm emotionally available to unavailable to myself, how in the world am I going to ever be emotionally available to my wife?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That is so true.
Yeah. And who got to reverse that narrative?
Who, if you can't be emotionally available to your spouses, who else can you be? And so, we won't go too far into that.
Right.
And a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But that is a very, very key point, because they need to, the woman needs to be able to talk to her husband and share whatever is going on with her, even if she doesn't really even know what is wrong with her, but she has to be able to share it. And we as individuals, the man on the opposite side has to be able to share with her, and we have to be able to do that and try to see from the other person's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we talked about the different cultures, men and women, they say there's a book that was out that said men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
Yeah.
It's like two different places. So now we gotta, land somewhere in the middle where we are all from the same place.
Absolutely.
So that is awesome. I'm glad that you all are doing the counseling. And I know you have a CD that you did release, one which is called The Healing in 2009.
Right.
And is that the only CD that you have released? You were telling us something else?
I did a second CD that I did release locally around the way, around, home. But, I didn't release it nationally because I was at that point kind of on the downside of walking away from music, kind of sort of,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So I did release it, and, people, they'll call me and say, hey, man, I heard this song right here, man. That's not on the chain. That's not on the Healing CD, man. What CD is that on, man? I gotta have that. You know what I mean? And I'll do whatever and get it out to them. You know what I mean? But I didn't release it all the way. Outside of locally, like back home, a lot of people have the Change Man CD. You know what I mean? It trips me out because I haven't listened to that stuff in so long. But if people will put up a post on Facebook and tag me in it saying, and they'll have both CDs and be like, man, I still listen to these like every day. I'm like, wow, man. It's talking about 10 something years later,
Right.
Years later, it's like, wow, man, God, look at you, that blows me away because, to me, I'm old Charles Smith from around the way. You know what I mean?
You know what? That's one thing that I've noticed about music. Musical artists that have gone on, one thing that's still here is their voice.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of young people, who like the music from back in the 70s, more so than, they call it old school. I like old school music, and more so than some of the music that is out now. I mean, there's a lot of music out, but they're drawn to the old school music, like the stuff
because of the musicianship. The musicianship is different now. A lot of the music now is 8 bars and loop. Everything is 8 bars and loop. 8 bars. We might get a little break here, 4-bar break here, whatever. But everything else is 8 bar and loop. Simple quantized, simple. You know what I mean?
Right.
And for musicians, it doesn't tickle the ear anymore. It just doesn't, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, the artists that are really still doing it live, you know what I mean? And have good musicians, they're not getting the spotlight anymore. They're not getting the front stage anymore. You know what I mean? And because it's become a 360 industry deal type industry, you know what I mean? Record labels don't care about art anymore. They are all about the money. I was reading an article, I was listening to a podcast today, and it said that the record industry made $17 billion last year. And the artists, every artist in the world only made 12% of that.
I believe it.
Now that's 12% of 17 billion dispersed amongst all the artists. That's terrible.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And they're the ones who are the face and doing all the work. But they're not reaping the proceeds from the work.
The thing that a lot of people don't understand from the music industry side, and like I said, I was blessed to be in that. From the music industry side, is that it takes a lot of money. To be independent successfully, you need to have at least a good $200,000 to push your album hard, to really be, if you're going to be successful at it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're just trying to be local and, you want to have a CD out or whatever, do your thing, iTunes and, CD Baby and all that stuff. You can 4 buttons, you could have a song out tonight. You know what I mean? But if you're really trying to be able to compete in the industry, music-wise, you need to have a good $200,000, and because you only need to be right one time.
Right.
You only need to be right one time. Because if you got a good hit and you put it out, got the money to back it, what you make from that will keep you going.
Yes.
You know, but then also you have to deal with the 5-minute records versus the timeless records.
Right.
You know, you don't luck up on the timeless records very often. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And so, you know, this industry, again, because everything is at these kids' disposal right here.
That's right.
You know, you hot for about maybe 2 months. You know what I'm saying? And you better have something following
Something
it.
else coming out.
Yeah, or they're gonna forget about
Reserve, ready
right.
to bring out.
Right. You know,
because everything is quick.
Right. My son is producing a lot of records for a lot of mainstream artists right now. You know what I mean? And that's conversations that he and I have. He's like, man, you know, it's like we just got to keep cranking them out. Got to keep cranking them out. Keep cranking. I'm like, yeah, that's all you, buddy. I'm done with that life. You know?
Now, which son is this? What's his
Isaiah.
name?
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Okay.
Yeah, they call him his Zay Smith. You can look him up on Instagram, Zay Smith Music. On Facebook as well. But he does a lot on Instagram, Zay Smith Music. He's writing and producing.
Zay, how are you spelling that?
It's Z-A.
Z-A. Okay.
Zay Smith Music. When I say he's writing and producing for everybody, he just did Life Jennings. He just did Pleasure P. He just did. I know he's working on stuff for Summer Walker right now. He's doing
it.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, he has a whole writing team underneath of him. And, you know, he's steady adding it. You know, he's adding good producers, looking for good producers and writers. You know what I mean? So he's like I said, he's better than I ever was, man. It's funny because when I tell people that he's better than me, they think I'm just saying it because he's my son. Mm-hmm. Then when I play them his stuff, they're like, oh, yeah, he killed you.
You know what? But a lot of times, and I'm glad that you're able to say that and it doesn't bother you.
I love it. Like, I think I would have done something wrong if he wasn't better than me. I'm you know what? Pull my glasses up so you can see this. It literally makes me cry sometimes when I see how good he is. Like whether he's playing drums or whether he's playing keys, singing, writing, producing, engineer. He knows stuff in the studio that I never. And I thought I was pretty good, you know. I was in the industry, you know. But you know, it literally brings tears to my eyes that he's that good. You know what I mean? And it's just like, man, all I can do is just thank God. Like, man, God. And you know the best part? When I tell you his relationship with God is so unbelievable. Him and his wife, because he just got married in June. Yeah. Oh. And so, he just got married in June.
Well, congratulations.
Their relationship with God, man, brings tears to my eyes. His walk just blows me away.
What I was going to say, and when you were talking about the part about your son, and you were acknowledging the gift that was in him, and that I think is great, because a lot of times when it comes to father sons or children within, you know, the line as it goes down, you know, sometimes I've seen parents that sometimes, you know, don't want to, they have a hard time acknowledging the fact that my son is doing really good. They should, you know, when our children come, they should do better. You know, we should expect them to do better. Jesus was even that example. God, you know, when he came on the when Jesus went and got baptized, and they went and put him down in the water, you know, the voice from heaven came and said, "This is my son, in whom I'm well pleased." He acknowledged his son. And then he also, you know, there's a scripture where, you know, Jesus was being given credit, you know, but he said, "I'm doing this to glorify my Father." You know, he's not. We know that Jesus, God, they're all one. All right. Absolutely. But he was acknowledging the thing that I'm pointing out is the fact that there was no reserve about this one is doing well. Man, now, I can't say it because it's going to make me. It should make you feel good, as you said earlier, that he is doing well, and I'm really proud of the fact that he is. I'm hoping that everybody that is listening, some of you that might be writers or producers of some sort, go back if you know, and listen. You know, we'll make sure we put down in the credits when the show is off. You know, the different, you know, Zay's name, so that maybe you can go out on his page and maybe some of the
you
work
got
that you do, you can get
look,
connected with him.
the thing is, here's the crazy thing. He is doing all these great things in the industry. I mean, I'm talking about making a mark huge. And yet he is still so humble. If I call him, you understand what I'm saying? Hey, Zay, listen, I got to go out of town this weekend. Can you come play for me this Sunday? You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, he just took a position as youth music minister, youth. He's over top of the youth in one of the big churches down here in Texas. Huge church. Yeah, he just took the position. Over for the youth ministry. And so that's my thing. Like he is who he is in the music industry, but he's still humble. Zay, like he's playing with me this Sunday. You know, playing drums behind me. You know what I mean? I'm playing. I gotta do whatever. And he's playing with me. You know, hey, he's the same. Like he's just the most humble. His heart, man, just blows me away.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
For those that are listening, we're getting close to our time frame. We're going to break for a quick commercial, and we're going to bring back Charles, who's going to sing a song. We're almost done with this segment, so I don't want to miss the segment from allowing him to at least minister in song before we close out. So I ask you all to stay tuned, and you're going to hear Charles very shortly. Well, welcome back. It's Lady Christine. We're here with Charles Smith for those that are just joining us. And we're down to about 2 or 3 minutes left in the show. And we're going to let Charles sing, and we're going to close the show out from there. So we ask you all to stay tuned as he ministers in song. Charles Smith from out of Houston, Texas.
Yeah. This is a song I wrote actually called The Other Side of Me. I'll just do like the chorus of it and then maybe switch to like another song. I'll pull a Lady Christina Foster, maybe do a little medley type thing a little bit. We'll see. The song, I hope y'all can hear this. This goes, send me your strength, Lord, because I keep falling down. I struggle with myself when no one's around. I can hide from them all. I can make them believe. I know that you still see the other side of me. So I say, oh, 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 it's a battle. Oh, 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 oh. Come rescue me. I'm searching for you. Come rescue me. Lord, I can't. So I just pray that you forgive. That you forgive. Oh, that's enough. That's all right.
That was beautiful. Thank you very much for that song. And the title of it was?
It was kind of mixture. It was a song called "The Other Side of Me," and then another song called "If I Could Un."
Okay, The Other Side of Me, and If I Could Un.
Yeah.
So I want our listeners to know that Charles is on Facebook. Charles Smith, he is on Facebook. And if you want to purchase any one of his CDs, it's on Facebook as Charles Smith Jr. And he has, what does IG stand for, Charles?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I know what Instagram is, but I'm IG. Instagram is at Coach_C_Smith. And as we said, we want to thank you for joining us tonight, Charles. We really enjoy you being on the show with us. I hope that our listeners have enjoyed tonight's show. And we wish you all the best in all of your endeavors. And we know that you will, but we encourage you to continue to keep the Lord first in everything that you do. And we believe that he's going to bless you. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, I hope that you all have enjoyed tonight's show. And we welcome you to join us again next week. You just never know who we're going to bring on This Is My Story, This Is My Song. Keep an eye out, because it just might be you or someone.